Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Title winners have spoken to 23-year-old Arsenal player's agent about summer move. Turkish champions Galatasaray are reportedly interested in signing Arsenal defender Nuno Tavares this summer. All eyes are on who the Gunners will sign in this window after falling short to Manchester City in the Premier League title race last season. However, there are plenty of players who will leave the club as well. Tavares could be one of them, and Galatasaray are very keen to sign him this summer, claims Takwim. Arsenal signed Nuno Tavares from Benfica in the summer of 2021. The young Portuguese left-back was viewed as a huge talent back then, and he started off his Arsenal career in fantastic style. He even kept Kieran Tierney out of the side for a few games. However, his form did a 180 at the turn of the year, and he was loaned out to Marseille in the summer. Now, following a mixed loan spell, Tavares is expected to be sold by Arsenal, and the report claims Galatasaray are really keen to sign him in the coming weeks. It has been claimed that the Turkish giants, who were crowned champions for the 23rd time last month, have already spoken to Tavares' agent about the move. Galatasaray will reportedly try to secure a loan deal this summer, but if Arsenal refuse, they are prepared to make a permanent bid to lure him away from the Emirates. Nuno Tavares is a player with a huge potential. The 23-year-old Portuguese defender is absolutely rapid, is an excellent crosser of the ball, and as he showed at the start of his Marseille career, he can chip in with goals from time to time as well. However, he is really poor defensively, and for some reason, his form decides to dip in the second half of the campaign. That makes him an unreliable option for Arsenal next season, and it's looking very likely that he will be sold. It will be interesting to see how much Edu will demand to let him go in the coming weeks. Arsenal ready to sell a £12 million player already this summer, only 6 months after he joined. Arsenal are reportedly willing to sell Jorginho this summer, just 6 months after signing the midfielder from Chelsea. That's according to 90 Minute, which claims that Arsenal are open to listening to offers for Jorginho. The 31-year-old made the £12 million switch to the Emirates Stadium in January, and after a slow start, eventually replaced Thomas Partey in Mikel Arteta's side. Jorginho put in some impressive displays towards the back end of the campaign, particularly against Newcastle United and Chelsea, but the Gunners are already pressing ahead with their plans to bolster their midfield options, with Declan Rice and Moses Caicedo heavily linked with a switch to North London, and it seems they are willing to let Jorginho leave as they bid to reshape Arteta's midfield. 90 Minute report that Arsenal are willing to listen to offers for Jorginho this summer. The outlet notes that the signing of the Italian star was seen as a stopgap signing, and the Gunners won't stand in his way should he wish to return to Italy. He is attracting interest from his former manager and current Lazio boss Maurizio Sarri, while AC Milan and Napoli are also keen. Jorginho looked set to return to Serie A at the end of his contract with Chelsea, but his move to Arsenal did come as a surprise. He's been a useful addition to Arsenal in the short time he's been at the club and stepped up well while Partey's form had dropped off. But if he does want a move back to his homeland, it would make a little sense for the Gunners to stand in his way. Arsenal will be looking to bring in some fresh faces this summer, and by allowing Jorginho to leave, it could help them to raise some funds and free up space in the squad. Rangers want Arsenal defender, but money could be a problem. Scottish Giants Rangers have shown interest in Arsenal's Auston Trusty, but their pursuit of the player may be hindered by financial constraints. The American defender, who has yet to make an appearance for the Gunners, has spent the majority of his time at the club out on loan after completing a loan spell at Birmingham City, where he featured in over 40 league games. Trusty is eager for a chance in Arsenal's first team. However, breaking into the starting lineup would be challenging due to the competition ahead of him in the current squad. As a result, Arsenal may consider sending him out on loan again or opting for a permanent sale. Rangers, aiming to reclaim the league title and challenge Celtic's dominance, see an opportunity to acquire Trusty and bolster their squad. Nevertheless, Football Scotland suggests that the Scottish side may struggle to meet Arsenal's financial demands and secure the player's signature. Trusty did well on loan at Birmingham last season and is a player we probably should give a chance to. He is expected to be in a preseason training with the rest of the boys, and if he does well, we could keep him as one of the first team options at the Emirates. Romano says another club lead race for fantastic £17.5 million player Arsenal won this summer. Arsenal may have work to do in the race to sign Ivan Fresneda, with Fabrizio Romano suggesting that it's Borussia Dortmund who are leading the charge for the young right-back. Romano has taken to Twitter on Thursday to suggest that Dortmund are in talks to sign Ivan Fresneda. He did, however, stress that nothing is particularly close right now. It does appear that Fresneda is likely to leave Real Valladolid this summer. They were relegated from La Liga this past season. Reports from The Sun this week noted that Arsenal remain admirers of Fresneda, and the 18-year-old is now available for £17.5 million after being valued at £35 million in the January transfer window. The Gunners are on the lookout for a new right-back in the summer, and Fresneda would be an exciting addition after a bright start to his career. Unfortunately for Mikel Arteta's side, Romano has now claimed that it's Dortmund who are on pole position to sign the youngster this summer. Arsenal probably do need another right-back in this window. Ben White was a revelation in the role this past season, and Takehiro Tomiyasu has been a decent addition. Unfortunately, Tomiyasu has struggled with injury since his arrival, and the Gunners are going to be back in the Champions League next year. Clearly, Arsenal have greater priorities in this window, so the chance to sign a fantastic talent for just £17.5 million seems to be one which is too good to turn down. But Arsenal have work to do if they are going to win the race, as Dortmund can clearly provide formidable opposition. Arsenal have made their first official offer to sign amazing defender. Arsenal have reportedly tabled their first offer to sign Galatasaray right-back Sacha Bowie this summer. The Gunners are expected to strengthen multiple areas of their pitch in this window. Central midfield is the priority, and they may sign two players in that position, but they also need a new fullback. It has been claimed that Bowie is a target, and Hurriyet report now that the Gunners have tabled a bid to sign the 22-year-old French defender. Every Arsenal fan's focus right now is on Declan Rice. The Englishman is the Gunners' top target this summer, and following West Ham United's UEFA Conference League triumph this week, Irons' chairman David Sullivan confirmed that they will let him go. That has to be Arsenal's priority now, but if the report from Turkey is to be believed, Edu is working on another signing behind the scenes as well. The report claims that the Gunners have tabled a first official offer worth £12 million to sign Bowie this summer, but Galatasaray are holding out for more. The recently crowned Turkish champions are looking for at least £17.2 million, and the report claims Arsenal are expected to increase their initial offer. Bowie will enter the final 2 years of his Galatasaray contract this summer. Arsenal's two right-backs at the moment, apart from Cedric Soares, who has no future there, are Ben White and Takehiro Tomiyasu. They are both amazing. However, the Japan international suffered a very serious knee injury back in March, and he is not expected to return to action until the middle of October. Arsenal can't start the new season with just one reliable right back, which is why they are on the market to bring in a new player in that position. Bowie, who has been branded as amazing by Bakary Sagna, is a very decent option, and it will be interesting to see if the Gunners will make an improved offer for him in the coming days. Watts says £44 million striker Rasmus Haaland is an option for Arsenal. Arsenal now have the opportunity to bolster their ranks ahead of a huge season where they will be fighting on for France. The Gunners will hope to challenge for the Premier League title again, and they will also hope to go far in the Champions League. While Declan Rice appears to be the main priority for Arsenal, the Gunners may also look at bolstering their front line. Goal.com's Arsenal correspondent Charles Watts answered some transfer related fan questions. One fan asked him whether he felt the Gunners would be looking at bringing in a new striker. Watts said, "A new forward isn't a priority for Arsenal, but also reeled off some potential options and personal preferences. One player he named as an option is Atalanta and Denmark striker Rasmus Haaland. He said, you have got obviously Rasmus Haaland, the Atalanta and Danish striker, who's getting a lot of headlines. He got about 9 goals in Serie A last season he scored. He's done well for Denmark and, he is an option. There have been some links between Arsenal and Haaland over the past few months. Back in March, Tutto Atalanta claimed the Gunners were plotting a 50 million euros approach for the D striker. Nonetheless, it's good to hear he is apparently still a target for Mikel Arteta and Edu going into the summer. Haaland has registered an impressive 16 goals and 7 assists from 42 Atalanta outings in 22-23. The 20-year-old has also netted 5 goals from just 4 appearances for Denmark. Arsenal now ready to make bid worth around £75 million for unbelievable player. Arsenal are ready to make a similar bid to the £75 million they offered for Moses Caicedo in January, with Brighton now open to negotiating the player's departure this summer. That's according to a report from London World, which notes that the Seagulls agreed with Moses Caicedo that they would be prepared to listen to offers after holding on to him in January. Arsenal seemed to make the biggest play for the Ecuadorian in the winter. However, the Gunners' offer worth £75 million was turned down by Brighton as they pushed to qualify for Europe. Mikel Arteta's side are going to push the boat out after coming so close to winning the Premier League title, and it seems that they are ready to make their fresh move for Caicedo. According to London World, the bid Arsenal plan to make for Caicedo is also worth around £75 million. You would imagine that Brighton may reject the first offer. Of course, these big money moves for players rarely tend to conclude after just one bid, but it's definitely a statement of intent from Arsenal. Caicedo is one of the most exciting midfield talents in the Premier League, and it seems that Brighton are open to letting him go this summer. It's noted in the report that no personal terms have been agreed, but it would not be a shock if that proved to be something of a formality if Arsenal were able to make a bid which Brighton accepted. He is an unbelievable talent, not even close to reaching his peak. It would be a huge for Arsenal if they could get a deal across the line in the near future. Chairman admits world-class Arsenal target is leaving. He wants to join the Gunners. David Sullivan has admitted that Declan Rice has played his final game for West Ham. The Hammers' chairman was discussing the midfielder's future after the Europa Conference League final when speaking on talkSPORT. As many will know, Rice has been strongly linked with a move to Arsenal, and Sullivan says that the world-class player has likely played his final game for the East London club. A move to the Emirates seems likely this summer, as it has been widely reported that Rice wants to join Arsenal, while he is also the Gunners' top target. Sullivan conceded that Rice will be leaving the club. He said, I think it has to be his final game. We promised him he could go. He set his heart on going. You can't ask for a man who has committed more to us this season. In due course, he has to get on and we have to get a replacement or several replacements. It's not something we want to happen. We offered him £200,000 a week 18 months ago. He turned it down. It cost him £10 million to stay at West Ham in that time and lost wages, and he wants to go. You can't keep a player who doesn't want to be there. As much as it hurts, Rice is leaving West Ham in the best possible way. The midfielder has just lifted West Ham's first major trophy in years as their captain, and now he is ready to make the next step in his career with the blessing of the fans, his teammates, and his chairman. Regardless of what happens next, Rice has cemented himself as a modern day West Ham great, and it's hard to imagine that there will be any hard feelings amongst Hammers supporters as Rice depart for pastures new. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.